Good morning. It is 8:25 a.m. on Monday, December 20th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I'm on vacation. This is 5 more minutes. I do have at least one work thing to do today, but it's essentially like a lunch meeting that I'm just going in and meeting with a old friend slash coworker. It's going to be easy. But it's a little bit further away, so I have to do a little bit of driving to get there. So I'm feeling pretty good, except that my muscles are sore. I came up with a little bit of a dumbbell workout, trying to get a little bit more exercise, and I feel pretty good about it, with the exception that the front of my thighs are the muscle group that my workout clearly, like, you do whatever exercise that you do for all your different muscle groups, right? But the muscles that on me that were the least prepared for the exercise that I assigned them were the fronts of my thighs, from like doing squats. And boy, those muscles are very sore. And you know what that makes it hard to do is easily sit down into chairs. Like once you're there, it's fine. But lowering yourself down, yeah. So I think it's the right thing to do to exercise. It's one of those things where the soreness from doing relatively, easy exercise is an indication. It's like, yeah, yeah. Oh, incidentally, I went to go buy more soda, and where I went at the drugstore there, they didn't have 2 liter bottles or regular sized cans. They had 1 liter bottles and these weird little miniature cans, 7.5 ounces, which is weird. I honestly I got a bunch of them though, just because I wanted some soda still. But I wonder if this would make me drink less soda, which would probably be a good thing. I don't know. In any case, Mike and I last night recorded our latest Watching 100 movies, where we talked about Christmas movies and had a fairly chaotic discussion about Miracle on 34th Street and A Christmas Story and Die Hard and Love Actually, talking about like what makes a movie a Christmas movie, how much is a movie like about Christmas versus just taking place at Christmas, various Christmas related themes within them. And I feel like it was a good discussion, even if we maybe should have discussed more of a structure ahead of time. But yeah, that's going to be available on YouTube probably as you watch this. There'll be a little link for it at the end here. Um, and that was good. And uh, I'm 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 still steeping in the Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm glad to see that the consensus amongst people seems to be that it's pretty good. Um, Also, the consensus that the weirdo that I argued with online about it on after coming home from the movies seems to be the sort of person who picks fights with everyone on that particular Discord server. So it's one thing to get into a heated argument with the stranger, but it's a little bit validating to see that that person does that to everybody. um, but yeah, so just continuing to think about that. It's got me sort of half inspired to rewatch all of those older Spider-Man movies. But then there's so many different, like there's so much stuff to consume these days. I'm also having a lot of fun with the Hot Wheels Unleashed video game. I'm still playing that a lot. It occasionally, a couple of the tracks are frustrating in the sense that some of these tracks have weird little bits on them, like where, like there's jumps where there's no track in between, or there's places where there's this little spider that shoots down webs and stuff like that, and it's all pretty ordinary stuff. But like on some of them, well, okay, here's the real issue with those is that you can change the enemy, like the other racers. You can change the little AI. It's essentially like a difficulty level, right? Like to make it easy or medium or hard. And it starts on easy, and then I changed it to medium, which is a pretty good challenge for me. But it's on some of those tracks where there are things where there's a significant random element. I get so frustrated because it's often the case where if I can just maintain my own pace through these tracks, I do well. Even if I don't like get first place, then I at least first, second, or third, something like that. But some of those tracks, it's really frustrating because a random thing that's very difficult to avoid will send you from first place into last place, and at a point where it's impossible to recover by the end of the race. And it's one thing to talk about, like it's effectively random, so I guess it's theoretically fair, but it's certainly frustrating. But by and large, I love the game, and I feel compelled to keep playing it. So I'll go ahead and leave it there for now, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.